There is a habit that most people building an income do not realize they have. And it is one of the most reliable ways to slow down your own progress. It goes like this. You are working on your system, creating content, building something, moving forward slowly but genuinely. And then you open YouTube, or scroll through LinkedIn, or find a community where people share their income results. And you see someone else's numbers. $3,000 in month 4. $800 from a single product launch. A client base built in 6 weeks. And something shifts. Not dramatically. Just a quiet recalibration. Suddenly your own progress feels smaller than it did 10 minutes ago. The system you were building feels less certain. The timeline feels longer. And the next time you sit down to work, the energy is slightly different. Slightly more anxious. Slightly less clear. This is the comparison trap. And for adults building an income after 40, it is one of the most underestimated obstacles to real progress. The instinct to compare makes sense. We use comparison to calibrate, to understand whether what we are doing is working, to identify what we might be missing. And in some contexts it is genuinely useful. But building an income system is not that kind of context. Because the comparison is almost always between incomparable things. Here is what you are actually seeing when someone shares their AI income results online. You are seeing the output of a system you do not understand. You are not seeing the months of work that built it. You are not seeing the restarts that preceded it. You are not seeing the specific advantages, the existing audience, the professional background, the timing that contributed to it. You are seeing month 18 and comparing it to your month 3. That comparison produces one reliable result. Discouragement. Not because you are behind, but because you are measuring the wrong things against each other. There are 4 specific ways the comparison trap slows you down. The first way is that it changes your direction. You are 3 months into building a system focused on a specific problem you understand well. You see someone else generating income in a completely different niche. And you start wondering if you chose the wrong direction. So you pivot. Or you start hedging, adding elements from what they are doing onto what you are building. And your system, which was starting to gain focus, becomes unfocused again. The direction change costs you not just the weeks you spend in the new direction, but the momentum that was building in the original one. The second way is that it raises your benchmark prematurely. When you see $3,000 months in month 4 of someone else's journey, $300 in your month 4 starts to feel like failure. But $300 in month 4 of a structured AI income system is not failure. It is evidence that the system is working. It is the first signal that trust is building and that people are willing to pay for what you are offering. The problem is not the $300. The problem is measuring it against $3,000 and concluding it is not enough. The third way is that it makes you optimize for the wrong things. When you are watching what other people do, you start optimizing for what appears to be working for them. Their content format, their pricing, their platform, their tone. But those things work for them because they are aligned with their specific audience, their specific knowledge, and their specific stage of build. Copying the tactics without the underlying alignment produces output that does not quite fit. And output that does not quite fit does not build the trust that leads to income. The fourth way is the most straightforward. It consumes the time and energy meant for building. Every hour you spend consuming other people's results is an hour not spent building your own system. Not learning, not improving, not creating, just consuming. And consumption, however well-intentioned, does not move your system forward. If other people's results are the wrong benchmark, what is the right one? The answer is your own system's inputs and outputs, measured against themselves over time. Here is a simple framework. Each week, track your inputs. How many pieces of content did you publish? How many potential clients did you reach out to? How much time did you spend improving your product or offer? Then track your outputs. How much engagement did your content receive? How many new followers or subscribers? How many product sales or service inquiries? Now compare this week to last week, not to anyone else's week. your week to your previous week? Is the trend moving in the right direction? Month over month is an even better lens, because week to week variation is high. Month to month trends are more reliable. If your month 3 looks better than month 2 across inputs and outputs, you are on the right track. That is the only comparison that matters. There is a reason the comparison trap hits harder for people building income after 40. It is not just psychology. It is context. When you are 25 and building something for the first time, a slow month feels like data. When you are 52 and feel behind on retirement, a slow month feels like evidence that time is running out. The financial pressure amplifies the comparison. Someone else's fast result does not just make you feel behind on the income. It makes you feel behind on the timeline. And that feeling, if you let it guide decisions, leads to exactly the kind of rushed, unfocused moves that extend the timeline instead of shortening it. The irony of the comparison trap for late starters is that the urgency it creates produces the behavior most likely to slow you down. Breaking the comparison habit requires something deliberate. It does not happen by accident. First, reduce the inputs. Unsubscribe from channels and accounts that primarily share income results. This is not about avoiding information. It is about protecting the mental space required to stay focused on your own system. Second, set a deliberate consumption window. If you want to stay informed about what is happening in your niche, schedule it. 1 hour per week, not scattered throughout the day. Outside that window, you are building, not watching. Third, build a personal benchmark document. A simple document where you track your own metrics week by week. Content published. Engagement received. Products sold. Clients acquired. When you have your own data to look at, other people's data becomes less compelling. Fourth, reframe what other people's results actually represent. The next time you see someone sharing impressive income results, remind yourself of what you are actually seeing. The output of a system you do not fully understand. Built by someone with a background you do not have. For an audience that may be completely different from yours. It is information. It is not a benchmark. It is not evidence about your trajectory. The comparison trap is not a weakness. It is a natural response to an environment designed to make other people's outcomes visible while hiding the work behind them. But for adults building an income after 40, with real financial stakes and a real timeline, the cost of comparison is higher than it looks. Because it moves your attention from your system to someone else's results. And your system only moves forward when your attention is on it. So the next time you feel the pull towards someone else's dashboard, close the tab, open your own, and do the next right thing in your own system. That is what actually moves the timeline. If this landed for you, the most useful next step is making your own benchmark concrete. The free AI catch-up calculator in the description gives you your specific numbers, your gap, your timeline. What a modest income system changes. When you have your own target, other people's results become a lot less interesting. And when you are ready to build, the AI Content System Starter Kit gives you the structure to start creating consistently without second-guessing every decision. The link is in the description. There is one more dimension of the comparison trap worth understanding because it specifically affects adults over 40 in a way that is different from younger builders. When you are 25 and building something for the first time, a slow month carries a different emotional weight than when you are 52. At 25, a slow month is frustrating. At 52, with a real retirement gap and a real financial timeline, a slow month can feel like evidence that the window is closing, that the opportunity is passing, that you are wasting precious time on something that is not going to produce what you need. That feeling is understandable. But it is amplifying the comparison trap in a way that is specifically harmful to your situation. Because the feeling of urgency that the retirement gap creates, when combined with the discouragement of comparison, produces the exact behavior most likely to delay real results. Premature pivots, early resets, constant strategy changes in search of faster results. The paradox is that the urgency that comes from feeling behind financially produces behavior that makes the timeline longer, while the patience to stay with one system through its full compounding cycle produces results faster than the frantic searching for a quicker path. Here is a reframe that can help. The retirement gap does not require you to build AI income faster than the normal timeline. It requires you to start now and stay in it longer than feels comfortable in the early months. Speed is not the variable that closes the retirement gap. Compounding is, and compounding is only available to someone who is still in the system when the curve begins. Your most important competitive advantage is not moving faster than other builders. It is moving consistently for longer than most builders stay. Most people quit in months 3 through 5. The people who are still building at month 12 are a small minority. The people who are still building at month 18 are even smaller. And those are the people whose results look impressive to everyone who started at the same time and quit at month 4. Stay in your system. Measure your progress against your previous weeks. Let other people's dashboards be irrelevant information rather than benchmarks. That is the antidote to the comparison trap that actually works for someone in your situation.